Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's so easy with Anchor.
Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad. We struggled to find the right way to distribute our podcast, and Anchor made it quick, easy, and free. We're on platforms we had never heard of, and that's all thanks to Anchor doing the hard work.
So, if you have been thinking about starting your own podcast, head on over to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. I hope it's double ply. Y'all don't need none of that single ply stuff.
Finger go right through.
And welcome back to Spilling the Mad Tea. We're here today with a very special edition because we have a very special guest. Janetta is here.
What's
Janetta's
up?
here!
You may remember us mentioning Janetta several times, basically anytime we talk about our Disney College program. She was our fifth and favorite roommate, and she's here.
Yeah. She's here with us. Well, she's not here with us. She's there with Rachel.
Yes.
But she's here talking with us.
So we're just going to reminisce, I guess. That's probably what this whole episode is just going to turn into, is a bunch of us talking about memories from that program, which is fine. People seem to like our college program episodes, so here's another one for you of us just talking about all the shenanigans that we got into.
Y'all are in for a treat.
So I think you've heard all of our DCP origin stories on our prior Disney College program episode. Janetta, do you want to share a little bit about what brought you to the college program, how you ended up being our roommate, what you did on your time there?
That makes us sound like super iconic superheroes.
Yeah, the DCP universe.
To be quite honest, I originally wanted to go to college in Florida, and my parents was like, no. And so I ended up having to go to a college in Indiana, which shall not be named. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply for this Disney College program because one of the reps came to the school, and I wanted to throw it back in my parents' face that I was going to be moving to Florida anyway.
Nice.
So that basically brought me to the Disney College program, and I just love Florida, and I just kind of wanted a different experience. I also thought about it from like the resume standpoint of when I go back home, I'll probably actually get a job because I'll have Disney on my resume. So that was that.
Where did you work? Tell the people where you worked.
Ooh, okay. I started
Oh, jeez.
at the Honey.
Yeah, we should preface this with Janetta has a very long history.
I started at Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Playset Adventure.
Yes.
Woo!
R.I.P.
Yes. I actually had a lot of fun memories there, specifically because like all the people that they would have worked that specific attraction were from like the UK, and so now I get to have friends that if I travel overseas, hopefully soon, I'll actually be able to visit them. And then I got transferred to Lights Motor Action Extreme Stunt Show, which was my favorite thing
R.I.P.
ever.
Yeah, also
You guys were recently talking about the extinct attractions, and that was all I thought about was Lights Motor Action.
Aww.
And I am devastated. But it has nothing to do with the park anymore, so I can understand. But yeah, that was in 2011. So to 2012.
Seems like just
It
yesterday.
really does.
So that was your first program, and that was the program you lived with us for. And it felt like you were always doing something. Like, it was always like, where's Janetta? Oh, she's doing this. Where's Janetta? She moved to what location? Like, what is she? You were like always on the
I
move.
can't sit down anywhere. Like, I literally have to be busy all the time, unless I'm sleeping, which recently has seemed like it's a lot. But yeah, no, that program, first off, was just like super busy because I worked in one of the busier parks, and it was just like 16-hour shifts. Streets of America was awesome. There was just a lot of cool things about it, but I was always typically working or at some other park that shall not be named with you guys.
So Do you remember how we became roommates? Did we just find each other on Facebook? Because that's what I think it was, but I honestly can't remember.
No, I think it was Facebook, and I think it was like...
Actually, Kelly, it was a really impactful time in my life, and I remember exactly what we talked about.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Kelly. But no, it definitely was on Facebook, and one of those like Disney college roomie things or something like that. But yeah, I just remember coming in and then walking into the room. Kelly was already there, and we kind of went from there. But she was super chill and cool, so I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Kelly, you super chill and cool
and creative. AF.
Those are 2 words I would not describe myself as, but thank you.
Chill in the sense of like respectful. Like I knew that I would be like getting along with you. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be dope."
There you go.
Yeah.
I have the strangest memory, and maybe it wasn't the day we moved in. I think it was, though. Kelly got there first, I'm pretty sure. And we were, like, waiting on Janetta, and we were like, oh, like, we're excited to meet Janetta. We're excited to meet all our roommates. And for some reason, Kelly was like, should I go ahead and put toilet paper on the roll, or should I wait till she gets it? Like,
how do you remember?
When's it appropriate to go ahead and put toilet paper? Should I go ahead and use my toilet paper first? And I was like... Honey, are you okay?
Wow.
I don't remember that, but that totally sounds like something I would say.
It's on brand.
It was probably something that was weird because you're like going to be living with a new human, and like Katie and I, we didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I'd never had like a roommate or anything.
Is single ply okay? Do you think she needs double ply? Like I bought single ply.
I hope it's double ply. Y'all don't need none of that single ply stuff.
Finger go right through.
That's going to be the quote for the beginning of the episode.
Oh man, you guys are funny.
Good.
Do you guys remember all of those? I don't know whose handwriting was on it. Somebody went around and labeled all of the doors and labeled all of the light switches.
That was Katie.
Everything in the apartment.
Yeah, that sounds like a me thing. I still have one of the pieces of tape. It says death switch.
I have one too. It's in my little DCP collage.
Yeah. Because we had, so in the units, they're all like cookie cutter units, and they have a switch in the living room. I don't remember where the other ones were, but there was definitely like 1 or 2 in the living room, and one of the switches was lights, and one of them was a switch for the outlets. We didn't know that. And so the first time we switched it, we were like, what the hell does this go to? And it was like turning our internet on and off and turning like our TV. And we were like, what? And so we were just like, oh, if you flip this switch, it cuts off the internet. So nobody touch it. Like, I think it took us an embarrassingly long time to figure out. It just controlled the outlets.
Yeah.
And our stuff was plugged into that outlet. So we went and labeled all those switches death switch, and we didn't touch them for the rest of our internship.
Not gonna lie, I am just learning that they were for the outlets. I just assumed that they were death switches. I had no idea
10 years
what they
later.
were for.
Oh my god!
I mean, I didn't question it. I was like, oh, all right. There's a piece of tape over it. Called a death switch. I don't want to touch
I will
that.
die if I flip
I don't want to be the one to
this
flip that switch.
You trusted us too much.
Because we were all like teenagers who didn't know how to be adults. And so we were just like, what do we do if the internet goes out? Like, this can't happen again. And so we just never touched it again.
Very helpful. We even have a picture. I think you guys labeled our pet butterfly, Jared.
Did we put Jared in a blender?
Oh, we did. Okay, so we have to begin at the beginning for this story. And that's going to be difficult because we're old now. So we're going to have to help each other.
Come on.
It started with Melon.
Oh, yes!
It did start with Melon.
I don't want to use her actual name, but I doubt she listens to this.
So we had a roommate.
To be fair, like, we didn't nickname her Melon. Like, that was Emily. We didn't do that.
So we had a roommate who wasn't there for very long, like 3 weeks maybe. And I think we've talked about this before. She just didn't like the role she was assigned, and decided to self-terminate. Well, when she left a bunch of stuff. She pretty much left in a hurry. And anything that wasn't essential, she just left it. So we got a bunch of toilet paper and paper towels.
You got a waffle maker.
What?
I was about to say a Cinderella
I got a Brita picture.
carriage waffle maker. Don't be that jealous. It's a piece of shit waffle maker.
Did
I've
you
never
guys
made a good
save
waffle out of
anything
that
for
thing.
me? I didn't know these things were options. Like, what?
I didn't get anything either, so don't feel too bad.
We just like descended like scavengers, and it was like, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly paper goods that she left anyway. One of the things she left though was this like little shrinkable animal thingy. It was one of those like capsules that you put in water and it grows. And so we were bored one day, but either way, we decided to put it in water in a clear glass so we could watch it grow. And we watched it, for 10 minutes. We had fun with it. And we were like, ooh, science. And then it was like, what do we do with this now? Like, we just have this weird lump of plastic in the shape of a butterfly.
We left it in that cup for a while.
Yeah. We were like, we can't have pets in this apartment. This our pet. And we just, like, kept him in the water like he was a fish. It was very bizarre. And it says a lot about teenage us. And at some point, somebody named him Jared. And there he lived forever. Until, were we drunk?
No, we weren't. That's what makes this so freaking weird, is that we weren't
that's
drunk.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. We were demented.
We blended that fucker.
After we hung it over the sink by a piece of thread.
Oh, yeah, that was fucked up. The blending thing isn't weird. The hanging is very strange.
Saying this out loud, this is not a funny story.
It's very demented and wrong.
It's fucked up.
I don't think it was really us, though. I'm pretty sure it was mostly Emily.
So we had a roommate who we still are friends with and talk to, and that roommate is transgender, and his name is now Dawson. But when this happened, his name was
I
Emily.
used to plank with Emily on the top of the refrigerator.
Yes, you did.
And the cigarette containers outside of the doors.
Planking was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel old.
Wow, I haven't thought about planking in a
The kitchen
while.
counters. Like, I feel like I have photos of that somewhere.
So this next topic, Katie dragged us into this next topic, and I want to be as respectful as I can.
Oh god. You don't gotta be respectful. I mean, towards the religion, I guess, but not towards the individuals.
There was this guy that worked at the Oasis Canteen, which is now Epic Eats, which is by Indiana Jones in Hollywood Studios. Katie had a real big crush on him.
He was beautiful.
Yeah, I know, he
y'all.
was beautiful.
I don't remember what he looked like.
He was tall, and he had a big nose, and he was beautiful. I have a type.
I think it took a while for you to actually talk to him outside of ordering a funnel cake from him.
That tracks.
And then I think Janetta was the one that talked to him, and we waited backstage for him to get off of work or something like that. That was weird. And I think Janetta yelled at him, or was he walked by and she kind of catcalled him.
It's a possibility.
That also
I can't
tracks.
remember, but I'm pretty sure I probably did.
Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times now.
So I started getting funnel cakes from there or not getting a funnel cake every time, but I started walking past there every time we were in Hollywood Studios, which was a lot. Because I had a crush on another boy that worked there. What can I say? I like my boys. I would walk past there and just see if he was, because there was only ever 2 cast members in that Oasis canteen. And so I'd walk past every time to see if he was the one there. And every time he was the one working, I either stop by and get a drink from there or get a funnel cake. And eventually he was like, you must be a CP. You must work here. And I was like, yeah. And one of the times Janetta was with me. So, of course, Janetta, who makes friends with a brick wall, was like,
Wow.
Tell me about your life story. And that's how we got to know him.
Anyway, he ended up inviting Katie to church, which totally fine, totally cool.
I was like, whatever, he's sexy. I'll pretend for
My
him.
God.
So I went along with her because you don't let your best friends go to church with strange guys.
That's my girl.
And we were dressed in somewhat appropriate clothes for a regular church.
For church in the South, where we're both from, where it's hot all the time. So this was appropriate clothing. Our dresses were knee length, longer than knee length. They were short sleeved. It's not like they were spaghetti straps or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I had like a cardigan on top. They were modest. But
Uh-oh.
But compared to the church that we went to, we looked like some
hoochie coochies.
ladies of the evening walking around this church, because he had described it as like a youth,
a young adult contemporary church. I will never forget what he described it as. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
The church that we went into was not a young adults contemporary church. I'm just going to say it. It was a Mormon church. We are not Mormon. We have no relation or any experience with that.
And you went in there looking like
So yeah,
hoes.
we stuck out. We stuck out like two skimpy sore thumbs.
I did not know this was a thing. I did not know how that ended.
Yes.
Oh man.
The story's not over yet.
Oh
so
yeah, there's
strap
still
in.
so much more. You just hold on to your butts because this ends in some twists. There's some turns.
Yeah. So we did the church thing. I think that was the last time that we ever saw the boy that Katie had a crush on, because he was already pretty much betrothed.
So at the church thing, the whole reason that we went to this church thing is because he said, "I'm singing at my church. I'd love for you to come."
How the hell did he want you
And
to
I was
come
like,
if he was betrothed?
Okay, this is like some weird church boy date, but like, I'll take it. He's cute. And so that's why Kelly and I went, and he told us like, oh, the church starts at this time, and we picked him up and took him with us.
Mm-hmm. He hit his head on your car. That was
Oh my god, yeah, he hit his head getting in my car because I had a tiny car and he was tall.
He was tall.
Which, in retrospect, good. I'm glad he hit his daily head. So we get there with him, and he had said the church service started at a certain time. He had gotten us there in time to go to his Sunday school as well.
Man.
Which is like a much smaller, more intimate group, and we were like, cool, I want to die.
Oh no!
Yeah. It was a small group of like ladies led by a man.
Yeah.
Talking about lady topics within
yeah.
How does that work?
whatever. It was very awkward.
Like, I felt my skin burning. Like, I was so uncomfortable. And then they were like, well, everybody reach into your chair. One person will have like a certain shape or something or whatever. And that person, that lady is going to lead us in prayer. And it was
No.
Kelly.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, and you were like, I'm not doing this. Like, you looked at me
don't remember
dead
that at
ass and you were like, I'm not doing this. And I was like, note taken. So I took it from her and I was like, I'm not comfortable with this. And they were like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, just lead us in prayer. And I was like, thanks for this day. Amen.
Oh, God.
And I was like, this boy better have a big dick.
Oh my god.
I am jumping through some hoops.
But you never found out.
No, because it was betrothed to
Because-
someone else.
So after
Yes.
that, we didn't really talk a ton after that. And I mean, I'd still like go past where he like past his work and see him, but like he never wanted to hang out outside of work. I was like, okay, like I get the point. Obviously, like this either like we work hoochie coochie stuff and you like hate me now, and that's fine. For some reason, one day I was giving him a ride to work, and it was like, this was the last time that I spoke to him. Because I'm giving him a ride to work.
Too. I remember this.
Were you with me?
Yeah, I was with you because your face just dropped.
Okay.
But you can continue
So
telling the story.
I'm taking him to work, taking him to studios. I think because Kelly and I were just going to like play at the park that day. And so took him to studios. And we're like turning into the parking lot for studios. And we're just like having a normal conversation. Like, it's fine, whatever. At this point, I'm like, cool. You know, we can be friends. And he gets a phone call. And he's like on the phone. And he's like, okay, bye, love you. And he's like, oh, that was like so-and-so. And I don't remember how the conversation went. But basically, he was like, yeah, she's like, he like didn't want to say it. He was like, she's like, well, we're betrothed. And I was like, you mean engaged? And he was like, no, it comes before the engagement. And I've basically promised to propose to her. And the whole reason I went on this college program was to save money to buy a ring.
You went on a college program to save money to buy a ring?
That's wrong.
And then, so I like pulled up to the cast lot at studios and I was like, okay, get out. And never saw him again.
Yeah.
Never.
Wow.
I remember like he went backstage and like Katie and I got out to walk into like the main entrance of the park, and the entire time we were just like, can you believe that? Like,
can you believe this motherfucker took this girl who was obviously interested in him, strung her along just to convert him to his motherfucking religion? Bitch, no.
This isn't even at the end of the story yet.
No, it's really not. I
So
wish it
while
was.
we were at this church,
It's a long story.
No, it's hilarious though.
This is one of
Yeah.
the big stories of our program, though.
this is our big like
It kind of is.
A lot of things revolve around the Mormons, so you gotta know your background
Yeah.
of your superhero comic book characters.
Yeah. So at church, we met these other two guys that they were attractive.
They were hot as
so
fuck.
Katie was, yeah.
They were hotter than the other
Katie's-
boy.
Katie was trying to talk to him, and then somehow they ended up coming over to our apartment.
Was this after church? You guys brought them home from church?
No, this was like I think it was a couple of days or like a week or something later.
They came over.
I didn't realize
yes,
they were in our
and
home.
they had their Book of Mormons books.
Hey, you guys were
Yeah.
doing like Bible study in the
Yes, I remember that.
I do
Yeah.
not.
I feel like I had to like awkwardly make them leave.
Like when we met them, they were like,
That's
they
what
were
happened.
so beautiful and so charming, and they were just like, we'd love to
Hang out.
We'd love to see you guys again.
build the community and da 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 da. Like somehow they got our phone numbers, or at least my phone number. I don't think they got yours. You're too smart. Listen, how old was I? 18, 19? I was young and I was horny. Okay. And they were beautiful. So I would just like get text from them and be like, hey, when's a time that we can hang out?
Yep.
Like we'd love to talk.
I
Da, da, da,
remember
da,
this.
da.
Yep.
And somehow they got into Patterson Court. Like they must have, somebody in their young adult contemporary church must have lived in Patterson Court, and they got in and knocked on our door. Yeah, we had like this Bible study thing, and then they were like, well, we're going to leave you with our Books of Mormon because we forgot to bring you a copy. And we were like, no,
They're
no.
like personal ones that they have written in and taken notes in, and it was
With like
just, it
their
was very
names
awkward.
engraved in the front, and we were like, no, don't do that. Like, please don't do that. But they
I
did.
literally remember that night.
And we were 18, and so we were bad at being like, no.
I think I told them no. I feel like
Yeah.
I had
I can
them
see
like
that.
awkwardly leave.
I'm pretty sure Janetta is the one who ended up giving their books back. Because then they would come visit us trying to get their freaking books back. And we were just like ignoring the shit out of them. And I'm pretty sure one time Janetta was like, I'm fucking tired of this. And literally like opened the door and handed them their books.
Waved it in the face, but it was, bye.
Yeah, and that was the last time we saw them.
There was one time they came to get their books, and I was not expecting them, and it was just me at the apartment, and I was leaving to go meet Rachel at Buffalo Wild Wings, because Buffalo Wild Wings was the thing when you're on the college program. So I look out the peephole after I hear a knock, and they're like, I could only see one of them, and his head was down, and I thought that he was our friend Kublai, and I was about to open the door, and then he looked up, and I was like, that's not Kublai. So I never opened the door. I was silent. I snuck out the back door. I jumped over the little banister on the porch because we were on the first floor. Jumped over that.
There were
and got
bushes
my
in
car
front of
and
that
left.
too, weren't there? It wasn't like clear banister. It was like banister and bushes.
You jumped like
And it was
5
a pretty
feet
high banister. It was like titty height.
to the height.
I was out of there. But that's the conclusion of
Sorry
that
it was long, and I
story.
hope you laughed
That was a
because that
lot.
shit was funny as hell.
And we don't mean to offend anyone. That was just our personal experience with the folks that we had experience with. And I'm tired of talking, so someone else start talking, please.
Do you guys remember going to Typhoon Lagoon for Kelly's birthday? I don't. I remember the pictures, but I don't remember much about actually going.
I don't remember much about it either.
I didn't get to go.
Were you sick or did you? What happened? We were trying to figure this out earlier.
I could not get the time off. I put in a time off request, and it was denied.
They was tripping.
And I was super fucking bummed. And because you guys were going to Typhoon Lagoon, like I couldn't, it's not like I could call out and then go to Typhoon Lagoon. And I considered calling out and buying a ticket to Typhoon Lagoon that day. And so that's what my plan was going to be. I was going to call out, pay for a ticket, and go with you guys. I woke up and was genuinely sick that morning. Like vomiting, fever, and I couldn't go. And I'm so upset to this day. I'm so fucking upset.
Oh, no. I still have the t-shirt that we made.
You do?
Yeah, I still have ours too.
Me too.
Mine.
The t-shirt that I never got to wear with you guys.
No.
That was a really fun day that I can remember. I don't remember too much about it besides taking a picture. And I think we got the tattoos because you're at a water park, you can't wear a button. So they put the birthday tattoos.
They did.
Instead of a button.
Cute.
And then there was that kid in the wave pool that was staying weirdly close to us.
He'd be loving on
That
you,
was
Kelly.
so awkward.
That was weird. He'd because he had goggles on, and he'd go under the water and check us out, and then pop back up for air and be like,
do remember that.
and then go back under it and be like, so creepy. And we were like, you are too young to be doing this.
Yeah.
You're too young to be this pervy. Quit it.
I do remember you guys coming home and telling me all about your day in my sick bed, and I was like, thank you, tell me more tales.
Well, we talked about another place we would go when we'd call in sick. Universal Tuesdays.
We used to go to Universal on Tuesdays, and we had this whole thing, and if somebody was working, they would call off. And it was mainly me.
I think it was you a lot.
Yeah, I think I might have called out once for a Universal Tuesday. But I was, I got a lot of Tuesdays off.
Yeah. I think most of us were just getting Tuesdays off, and Rachel couldn't get Tuesdays off. So she was like, I'll go in. I want to go.
Yeah, so I called out probably 3 or 4 times.
I do remember our first Universal Tuesday, Janetta was with us because there's photo evidence of it. And that's when we got the Pygmy Puffs.
When we were doing the, Harry Potter Wizarding World, the 3 of us, it felt like mom and mom with the kids. Because y'all were just like, kind of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves.
See, but at least you have friends that will do that for you, because most people would just be like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I was grateful that both of you were there and both of you were putting up with
You guys
us.
I'm just glad you were there, Janetta.
Yes.
enjoy.
Oh.
You want me to take the pictures?
Yeah.
There was a lot of that.
Everybody stay hydrated.
Tons of that. I feel like there was a lot of that through the whole college program. Me and you,
Yeah, 'cause
and
I
them.
wasn't even hooked on Disney either. I love it, but I wasn't even hooked then. But it was fun. It was worth it.
I also remember we went one final time to say goodbye to Jaws.
Oh, that was really sad.
I have a picture of half my body in his mouth.
Yes.
Or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I think you were showing your
Yes,
butt
you
to
do.
the camera.
I was with my Disney Nerds book bag
Yes.
on.
I really enjoyed our Universal days because when we went to Disney, it almost felt like
Work.
we were still we were at work. We were under this umbrella of Disney college program protection.
Yeah.
Of almost being on campus or something, And we went to Universal. It felt very we purchased these annual passes. We're adults.
Spring break!
Yeah. There's no rules. We're not representative of this company. We're just here to have fun. So
Yeah, those were
very
really nice.
special.
We are
Days.
paying patrons. Damn it.
So during our college program, Hollywood Studios was definitely our favorite park, which is kind of why we're so sad about the state that it's in now, because we said goodbye to so many things that just made our program what it was, and one of those was going to see Janetta at work pretty much at least 2 or 3 times a
you
week.
guys were saying that Universal felt like you were off campus. I felt like Hollywood Studios kind of felt that way too. It just didn't seem as Disney as all the other parks. So you were it was the cool park and a little bit grungy and
That's because all of Janetta's friends knew us and we knew them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't go and not see 5 or 6 people that you knew, and it was kind of surreal to be oh hey, person that I actually You're not a Disney cast member. You're, Jim from Chatham.
I miss it. It felt like home.
Yeah. It don't feel like that no more.
It don't. I feel so out of place going there. I went the other day, and I literally only rode Tower of Terror and just walked through Star Wars Galaxy Edge just to see what it looked like, and I was just like,
Yeah.
Like, I miss Streets of America.
Oh.
Like, the dancing lights. Ugh. All of that stuff was so amazing.
That was
Toy
one of my
Story
like
is pretty
favorite
cool.
memories
cool.
of like the program. Like I think it was me, Katie, and Katie's sister went to like on Christmas or Christmas Eve, went to go see you, and you were working, and we were just dancing it out in the
I was
snow. Kelly, and we were just dancing out in the snow. Yeah,
We danced.
It was fun.
And then
Yeah.
it was
really, really
Feliz
fun.
Navidad, and we like,
Yeah,
just-
nobody was like standing in a line to go on any major rides. We were all just
Yep.
dancing in the street.
That and the
Yeah,
Fantasmic.
you don't
days.
have that anymore.
Yeah.
Fantasmic was always so much.
It's all
fun.
about getting to the next exciting attraction or getting in the exclusive photo at the new, it's all like, it's just not Disney anymore.
It feels
I don't
forced.
like the new
Like they're
Hollywood
forcing
studios.
everything versus just like letting it happen. You know, like, it felt so weird being there the other day. It just so awkward, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful. I will give them that. And I mean, like, Toy Story Land is actually really dope.
Yeah.
But like
I do love Toy Story
Pizza
Land,
Planet,
but I feel like Toy Story Land
Like, where'd it
fits.
go?
where Pizza Planet, like,
Right.
I'm done venting.
That's such a...
I think our next story about a certain Italian person is for Katie and Janetta to take on.
Where did we meet him? Do you remember, Janetta? What ride line?
We were in Test Track in the queue, and we were literally just random guests. We went for the day to just have fun, and he was a single rider, and he was fine as hell, and I just, and I think he was like 16.
He was definitely...
He was 100% 16, and we didn't find
know
that out until like after the fact.
I just remember him saying like his parents were waiting outside, and so I think the Test Track ride line was like an hour wait or something.
it was
was ridiculous.
long.
So like,
And it broke
We just-
down, and so it ended up being way longer.
exactly. And so we just befriended him, and we talked to him the whole way through the line, and then when he got ready to go up, he was gonna be by himself. So then we were like, you should just ride with us because you fine as hell. And and then he did, and we had a great time. We didn't buy that picture, did we?
Nope.
Damn.
I don't think so, which is really
That's
dumb
so
of
sad
us.
now.
Because we were
We were
real
poor,
young,
though.
We were.
real stupid.
I spent all of my money on gym shoes at that freaking outlet mall. But anywho, and then once we got off the ride, I just remember him like actually introducing us to his family. And I feel like we walked around the park for a while, or either he came with us and left his family for a while.
Yeah, he was like,
I think he asked his
basically
dad.
like, this is my family, and he was like, I'd like to go. They want to go ride this. Could I please go with them? And we went and rode Living with the
I
Land with
cannot
them.
believe that parents
Let their
from another country
16-year-old
allow their 16-year-old
Right?
boy to go off with a group of girls.
But also, like, I would be like, I paid for you to be in this park with me today. You're not, like, ditching me to go, like, hang out with these American girls. Mm-mm.
Again, we were not aware he was 16.
We weren't, 'cause he looked
but
grown.
Obviously.
He did look grown.
Yeah, he looked older, and obviously, like, we were older than him, and I feel like we didn't look 16,
He knew.
and so his parents were letting him go off with a group of older girls, and we rode Living with the Land, and that's the end of that story.
Lie again, you hoe.
Oh, wait. Oh, I just remember. I'm like, wait, what happened? Yeah, Katie. Tell us about it.
Nothing happened. We rode Living with the Land, and then
She was living with the land.
She
shortly
was
after.
living with the man is what she was doing.
I always thought that was genuinely the end of the story. Is there more to this story?
There is more.
No. Katie and him had a row together. Just the two. of
Just
them.
the
And
two of
she
us had a
held
row.
hands with a 16-year-old boy.
And we held hands. And then after we got off of that is when I found out he was 16, and I was like,
Bye.
No. We didn't. No. Because we went and bought those fucking bracelets after that.
Oh,
And
yes,
then-
I must not have known. I want to buy those bracelets.
And then I think we found him on Facebook at some point.
No, he like wrote his name down. Was like, find me on Facebook so we can stay in contact, and we do. We still
on
talk
a
to him
regular
to this
basis.
day.
I just wished him a happy birthday a couple of weeks ago.
No, me
He's so fine, y'all.
Oh, and man, he has aged like a fine wine.
I am literally going to send him the link to this because he sent me a message.
Okay. Hey,
recently
Nikki.
and was like, hey, I'm gonna be in Chicago in September, and I was like, you can stay with me. Because like, damn, we've talked about if we've had girlfriends or boyfriends. Like, he's currently single and ready to
That's my
mingle.
girl.
Let me stop. Okay, this is getting
Ooh.
explicit.
I mean, that's why we got that by our name. Hello, Nikki, if you listen. It's nice for you to hear
If you
us.
listen and you made it all the
Andrejevic.
way through to this
Andrejevic.
story, you're a trooper.
Anywho, he's actually a really nice person. He's very intelligent. I feel like he's running
Yeah.
stuff overseas. Like, he's just
Intelligent, motivated.
an athlete.
Yeah,
He's cool.
he's a very
He's
cool guy.
peoples. I'm glad we've actually stayed in contact this long.
These are reasons you should, if you're on the fence, you should go do a Disney college program. You never know what's going to happen.
You two could hold hands with a 16-year-old Italian boy on living the land.
Oh my god. Or whatever flavor nationality you prefer.
Yeah.
You can hold hands around the world.
Speaking of around the world, anybody actually remember Rachel's birthday?
I don't.
Nope.
I remember
I remember
bits.
pieces.
Just bits.
So I remember that Rachel was the only one who was 21 in our apartment. So technically, she was the only one who should have drank in our apartment. Actually, technically, she wasn't even supposed to be drinking in our apartment because it was a wellness apartment.
But yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, part of my reason for going on the college program was because I was going to be turning 21 away from home. And so this was a very great time to be alive in 14102 because we really lived up me being 21. We started in Epcot and we drank, and then I did. Y'all didn't. Sorry. That was me.
Yeah, so from mine and Stephanie's side of it, me and Stephanie were the only two, I think, who could get the day off and go to Epcot on the day of your birthday. And so you were drinking and like you had all your drinks paid for you. And Stephanie and I were just like, we're sober. But we had so much fun laughing at how progressively drunk you were getting.
In public for the first time.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I think I came later in the day after I got off work because we went to Via Napoli,
Now I
right?
remember that. I did not know that was. Oh, and those hot
The
guys were
Simones.
there.
The Simones.
They were all beautiful.
There were like 3 men named Simone, and they were. Whew. We already have established I like me an Italian. And they had fantastic butts.
So we did all that and we ate and then we went back and we went to the ABC beverage outlet and I bought.
I thought we got drunk the night before your birthday.
No,
We
that
got
was
drunk
the
after
night.
you were already drunk
Yes.
at Epcot?
Yeah, it was after because Rachel's the one who went and bought
I
all
bought
the
all
alcohol.
of it.
And she was so
Are you sure?
excited to go and buy it. And we were like, here's cash.
Yeah, so I bought like 5 bottles of alcohol, and
I do not remember.
yeah, because y'all went in with me. I think Katie made it went in with me.
I think I
And
did.
so anyway, so I bought all this alcohol. We went back to the room and we drank all the things. And I was like eating celery, and I don't like celery like that. And I was throwing it at y'all's face. Like we were.
We had
Yeah.
a veggie tray, didn't we?
Are you sure I didn't go to sleep? I do not remember any of this.
I think you did go to sleep. I think Janetta was like, I have to work early tomorrow. I'm going to sleep. And Kelly was like, I have to work early tomorrow too.
I'm going to stay up till 4:30 and then drive to work at 6:30. That was a stupid idea. This was also the first time I ever got drunk, so
Yeah,
That was an experience.
don't do as we say, not as we do, and don't do that.
yeah. Don't do anything that we've just talked about.
But yeah, so that was that. We have a lot of pictures for that. It was really great. And we had lots of people in our apartment that night. And Janetta slept through the whole damn thing.
I still can't drink rum and Coke.
Ugh.
I can't do coconut rum anymore. It's
Yeah,
just,
I can't either. It's too
Yeah,
sweet.
that's what it was.
Disgusting.
That's what it was.
So we all ended up vomiting. Most of us ended up vomiting.
I didn't
I didn't
vomit.
vomit.
Proud. Okay.
I kept it all in.
You
vomited.
took one for the team.
And I remember my only thought process was like, don't throw up on the carpet because you won't get a white glove.
The white glove.
But then Stephanie disappeared for like an hour because then she ended up getting sick and we all worried about her. And then y'all...
But she would not let us in the
Nope.
bathroom. She was like, I got this, let me alone.
It's on brand. I was like, I don't remember that, but yeah, that sounds about right.
You don't remember that because you was...
At one point in time, Katie asked me to cut her hair, so then I went and hid all the knives and all the scissors, and we couldn't find them for a while.
So that was that. That was my birthday. On to the next.
Another fun night I love to remember is when we all went to Not So Scary, and I feel we all dressed up as cross-dressed as Disney boys. Yeah. And I feel like
yeah.
I don't know if Janetta just decided to come last minute or
It was very last minute because I didn't have money for a ticket, and then I was like, I'm gonna just
Because you
pay
saw our
for it.
costumes and you decided to go.
I did.
And you
'cause they
threw
were
on that
dope.
Justin Bieber wig and...
Oh my god! Oh shit!
and you were Christopher Robin in like
Katie's backpack.
3 minutes. It was brilliant. And you were like, all right, let's do this.
It's so cute.
I looked a hot ass mess.
Rachel, why did you have a Justin Bieber wig?
I think Katie bought it to be Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I bought it because I was going to do Peter Pan. And I was like, I'm not wearing this stupid thing. It itches and it's hot.
So then Janetta wore it and she was Christopher Robin with your backpack, your Pooh Bear backpack.
With white tube socks over whose blue shorts were those I had on?
I don't know.
I feel like they were Stephanie's.
I don't remember.
I think I had on Stephanie's light blue shorts. And I had a yellow polo. And I looked a hot ass mess.
Oh my god.
But you did it for the team.
That was so good.
With the cute little Winnie the Pooh book bag.
know.
Oh my god, that image of that photo in front of Let the Memories Begin just literally popped up in my head.
That's like one of my favorite pictures
It's
ever.
so good. Because we all had our stance and we were just living the dream.
Y'all looked fly.
We,
You looked like...
you came together
Like, it looked
so
like we
quickly.
did all the costumes together. Nobody could tell that yours was the last minute.
because it was so good. I can't believe you threw that thing together that quick.
So let's talk about the food that we ate on the
A lot of
college trip.
shit's what we ate. We cooked a lot and we ate a lot of
We ate
junk.
a lot of junk.
I remember a lot of CC's,
lot of CC's.
buffet days. $5 buffet.
Oh yeah, because they gave us a discount.
Eat until you feel like you're gonna
couldn't beat
explode.
that.
Yeah,
They gave us a
$5.
discount, and we would sit there for hours and basically eat 2
Yep.
meals.
Yeah, because we didn't go to
Yep.
the grocery store. Not a whole lot.
Or we'd go to the grocery store and we'd buy like $100 worth of groceries, and that needed to last us like 2 months.
Rachel bought like $100 worth of Mountain Dew.
Yes, I did.
And you, what is it,
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
And I will happily tell you guys that I don't drink either one anymore.
What?
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Good, that shit was dangerous.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you'd get like angry if you didn't have them.
Yes, I did. It was literal drugs, and it was really terrible.
It was like you said when we moved in, you were like, the one thing I will get mad about is if you touch these
Yep.
drinks. Everything else, we can work it out. So if you touch my Mountain Dew, we're going to fight.
Do you remember drinking packets of lemon juice at CC's
I
one
do.
day?
As soon as I saw it, I
Emily?
was like, I drank lemon juice packets. Like,
What's
Disgusting.
wrong with us?
I love like sour stuff
Yeah.
and very bitter things, and it just looked good on the table. Lemon juice packets.
Yeah, but those lemon juice packets was not... Oh, okay. There's mine.
Take
Thank
a
you,
birth control.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's so late.
I know. 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there was packets of lemon juice for some reason at CC's, and us being the complete geniuses that we were, decided to just keep
It's
drinking
free. It's
these packets
included.
of lemon juice, and it hurt your face so bad.
Said it's
Huh?
free. It's included. You might as well get your money's worth.
It was stupid.
And then we all like laid on the
That was a
floor. There's like
terrible
a picture
decision.
of Kelly just like laid face first on the floor, like in
Yeah.
her pajamas, and she was just dead.
I think one of my favorite memories was us pulling all of our mattresses into the living room and having a sleepover and jumping on the mattresses like they were
so good.
trampolines.
Couldn't we have gotten like in trouble? Wasn't there some like you can't move the furniture rule or something like
probably
that?
so.
Oh, we moved the furniture like every week.
If they'd done an inspection and our mattresses had been in there, they would have said something.
Yeah, we'd have been turned.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we got white glove like a lot.
We did. We only missed it one time, and it was over some bullshit.
Was it something in the microwave or something in the fridge or like one thing in the trash can or something? It was something really stupid.
Yeah, it was like one thing, and we were like, "Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?"
we like really like
Yeah.
we were not the cleanest group of humans, but when it came around to that, oh honey.
Anytime it wasn't white glove time, we were slobs.
Yeah,
I
y'all
remember
were.
Katie and I on our hands and knees combing the carpets.
Because you could rent vacuum cleaners from the office, but there weren't any available because it was white glove.
I also remember laughing really hard when we like all kind of dressed up silly, like on actual Halloween, and just like danced around the
Yes,
apartment.
that was so much fun.
and just
Yeah.
were stupid.
Is this where we were singing all the Hanson songs
Yes.
and like
Because
I do
Hanson was in
remember
town
that.
for their
'Cause we got you on the
concert,
couch going,
yes, with my like either yellow or blue shirt. I couldn't remember if it was like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids shirt or the other one, but
oh man.
I was burnt. I looked so chocolate. I was like black.
You was
black.
living in the sun.
I was. That was a
That's
fun night.
So fun. We definitely got video of that.
I think we went to Walmart
Yeah, we
dressed
did,
up
because
like
I was
that,
a
too.
zombie baseball player just because I had a baseball shirt, and I was like, make me a zombie.
Now, Katie, I am so confused as to what the Alabama Boys is. I need you to explain.
Okay, Janetta, this was me. This was just me and you. I don't remember if it was on our program or if I had come back like on
The
a solo trip
Alabama
and you were there on a different
Boys!
program. Right, you
On
remember?
Streets of America? One went to the military. Yes! I don't remember their names. Wow, this is so crazy.
Okay, so Janetta and I, we went to Hollywood Studios. I think that I came to visit you when you were working on.
I might have been
your
like
second
seasonal
program.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and because it wasn't during our regular
Oh,
college program.
man.
And so it's just
Whoa.
me and Janetta, and we're hanging out, and I don't even remember where we met these boys, but we met these two boys, like super country
Yep.
boys from Alabama. Very sweet, and just like spent the day with them.
Yep.
Like went and rode rides with them, went and had dinner with them,
Literally.
walked around Streets of America and took a bunch because the park was like
Yeah.
dead. And just took a bunch of pictures on the empty streets of America and just like hung out with these guys. They like bought us stuff and like I'm pretty sure they bought us a couple drinks and like
They were
We just
really
hung out.
freaking nice.
just like platonically hung out with these two
Yep.
boys that we met. And like I think I might still be Facebook friends with them.
I am too. And I just remember one went off to the military like a
It was
year
so
after
it was
that.
just like the Italian boy. It was just like so bizarre that like we were just like two people who just like clicked with these other two people and just hung out all day.
I guess that's another cool thing about like Disney, like the program in general, is like it kind of makes you more of a personable person. So like you could just walk right up to somebody and just spark a conversation. And like I think us as a group of roommates we were so good at that, like meeting Nikki and just being like, oh, where are you from? And you
We're
know, going with it,
friends.
and now we're cool friends. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I've lost that. I wish I still had a little bit of that. It's all gone.
You don't
You
have that.
do.
Yeah, I
as
don't
much
have
anymore.
any of that.
Stop.
Okay, so that brings us perfectly to our next point, which I feel like there could be an entire episode titled and about
Lord.
this. So we might want to expand on that one someday. I called it. Are you ready, Janetta? I called it. The Magic of Janetta.
Whoa.
How to network and advice for those looking to take their DCP experience to the next
That
level.
is so fancy.
Whoa.
Because everyone who knows Janetta knows she has this like spark that she can talk to anyone, be friends with anyone, networking is, she doesn't even do it intentionally. It just kind of happens. She could walk into a room and in 10 minutes, she's going to know everyone's name and their backstory. It's just this thing that she has. So do you have advice, Janetta, on people who are in their college program and trying to progress with the company or network within the company while they're on their program?
Yeah, whoa. First off, that's a lot. I actually never thought about this.
I mean, no big deal.
So, okay. I didn't used to be like that at first, right before the program started when I was in college and stuff like that my freshman year. But I figured I needed to just, step out of my comfort zone. And I wasn't really good at just starting a conversation with people, but, I had really big dreams and I knew that, I would have to eventually start doing that. But networking, you guys, everybody should make sure that they're networking and not just meeting people. You have to continue the relationships with people. A lot of people get confused with networking is, oh, I met with this one person and they gave me all this information and then you just never talk to them again until you need something. Mm-hmm. And that is the worst thing you could do. So I definitely recommend I never actually took any of the Disney courses, but I would pay attention to little things. When I walked into Hollywood studios, backstage, they would have the photos of the vice president, the president, the general managers and stuff like that of the area. So I would just look at the picture and familiarize myself with their faces. And one day, I still remember this exact night. I wasn't the best college program intern when it came to my attitude. I would actually work a lot, but I would say whatever came to my mouth. It just would come right out. And so when I was first working at Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Playset Adventure, which was it was a cool attraction, but it was just gross, the things that would happen inside of there with those little children. But I remember being on Streets of America one night and I was completely exhausted and we were just closing down the area and I saw this one guy just standing off on one of the corners of the street or whatever. And I looked at my coordinator and I was like, hey, is that Dan Cockrell? And he was like, yeah. And he's probably making sure you're doing your job. And he said that with that attitude. And I literally looked at him with that facial expression of, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I'm finna kick your ass. And I just was like, okay. So I literally walked away from the group. And he's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to go talk to him. So I went and introduced myself. And the whole group of people, some of my friends were still standing there with the manager and the coordinator. And they were just looking at me did she just really do this? So I just took the initiative. I knew that it would be a great opportunity. I wasn't just thinking in the moment. It was I was trying to think about in the future of how this could affect my future Disney career. And so I just walked up to him and I remember hey, are you Dan Cockrell? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm Janetta. It was kind of awkward, but eventually I just kind of warmed up and I just asked him if it was okay if I just sat with him and got advice about, how to further my Disney career. At that particular moment, I didn't think that I would actually stay with the company for that long, but I just kind of wanted to just get his insight on it. So he was sure. He gave me his card. He wrote his actual cell phone number on the card, and I was like, ha, ha, ha. And then he left, and I walked back over to the rest of the people, and they were like, what happened? And I told them or whatever, and they were just like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't think anything was going to come of it, but this is the main advice I would give is to just follow up with people when they give you their information. Mm-hmm. Do not let it sit for months before you reach out to that person. So the very next day I sent him an email. It was his assistant, Catherine. I still remember her. She was the nicest lady in the world. And so I sent her the email and always make sure when you're sending an email, you think of how they're going to read it, not exactly what you want to say. Mm-hmm. because that just, the tone and everything
Good
else
advice.
comes off like you could be excited about something, but don't be like overly excited, sending exclamation marks and all these other things. Like, it kind of makes you look like you're not ready for the next step. So like, I reached out to her. They set up a meet and greet, and he became my mentor. He literally was like, send me your resume. At that point, all I had was the Disney College program. He transferred me. Oh, I told him this the night on Streets of America. Horrible thing to say. Do not ever say this to anybody. I think he was just really nice and understood where I was coming from. But I told him that I did not move 1,200 miles across the country to work at an attraction at a playground. And he literally was like, what? And I repeated it like an idiot. But then, I kid you not, like 2 weeks after that meet and greet, he moved me to Lights Motor Action. And it was just life-changing. Like, I had a blast the rest of my program. I still stay in touch with him to this day.
That's
like,
awesome.
we send emails, we send texts. He's supposed to come to my job and speak to my employees. It's great.
What?
Yes, like,
Can you tell us who he is or who he was with the
that
company?
probably would be pertinent information. So Dan Cockrell at that time was the vice president of Hollywood Studios, which is like
Okay.
up there. And then I
Yeah.
think when I got done with that program and my professional internship a few years later, he was the vice president of Magic Kingdom. And his dad actually used to be like big in the company too. He has kids that work for the company now, which is super cute. But he's retired. He retired at 49, guys.
Woo!
Like,
Damn.
and he travels the world
Wow.
with his wife, and his kids are
Got
in
that
college.
Dan Cockrell money.
Yes, like, man. Also, he's
That's
very,
lovely.
very, very, very nice. Very nice guy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like I said, meet with those people. You're going to constantly run into, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to be as blunt as I can. You're going to constantly run into managers at Disney that are looking to further their career, and they don't want to help you further your career. And it's not necessarily that they just don't care about you. It's just that their focus is different from where yours is. So you just have to keep reaching out to other people. And when you meet someone, see if they have someone that they could introduce you to. And then you just build that network from there and stay in touch with those people. But yeah, I think that's basically all I could give now, because I could talk for days on this.
And I think that's really great advice across
Yeah.
most professions.
Yep.
You give better advice than we've given in like the 30-something.
Right.
Stop
episodes.
it.
Because you were serious about it, and we're just a lot of.
I didn't like
Goofs.
take it serious though until they gave us the option to extend our program. Like, I didn't think that I ever wanted to stay here. You know, it was just like,
Right.
oh, just get this on my resume and go back home, finish school, and call it a day. But then it led from that to a professional internship in performing arts, which Dan introduced me to the director of performing arts after I got seasonal like 2 years later. And I had what I thought was a meet and greet. That is another very important thing. Meet and greets can also be interviews, so do not show up late. Have a resume at all times. Like, make sure you keep your resume updated. Because
Just get it tattooed on
yes,
your arm.
exactly. Because I like walked in to just like hang with Dan one day, and I was telling him like what my interests were and that I had to change my major, and he was like, "Do you have a resume?" And I was like, "Oh, actually I do." And I pulled it out of my little folder, and he literally walked out of the office to Catherine and was like, "Can you please fax this over to so and so?" Why can't I remember his name right now? I cannot remember. But he was a great guy. And I was like, "Who is that?" And he was just like, "Oh, just the director of performing arts." And I was like,
You know.
All right.
so then,
That's another thing that you do really well, Janetta, is that you remember who people are and what their position is.
Yeah.
Like, you're very personable in that, like, you make connections with people and remember their names, remember
Yeah.
conversations you had. And
definitely make sure you guys do that, because it goes a long way. it shows that you're actually caring.
I feel like we should be paying you for this advice.
One of my friends would be like, that'll be $37.50.
This is your TED Talk.
Oh, I would love to do one of those one day, but I get too nervous.
You'd be so good at it.
You'd be amazing at it.
Even though you said you were nervous before this, like you can't tell.
Shaking in my
It's just
No.
And we really threw you on the spot.
They did. I didn't know I was actually going to be coming here until I woke up this morning and was like, I think I'm awake enough to make it to Atlanta by myself. And then I was like, Rachel.
Here I am.
So yeah, that definitely happened last minute.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anywho, be yourself too. Don't try to act like how you think they want you to act. Like, just genuinely be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that goes a long way. But anywho, I'm done. I feel like I've been talking for like an hour.
Well, I think we should wrap up with that our very first encounter with Janetta, I believe, because you were out and about for several days after we moved in, and and we were all trying to find something to watch on TV, and we stumbled upon this really terrible, horrible film called Santa's Sleigh. It's SLAY. Not a great film, and we all subjected ourselves to this crap, and we bonded, and here we are this many years later, still buds.
And we watched this in the middle of summer, and Janetta came in, and we were like 10, 20 minutes into the movie.
And she just sat down in the
like,
front of the TV.
What is this?
I did.
And she sat down and she was like, restart this! And we did,
My
and we watched it,
demanding
and that was
ass.
like,
oh my god,
that's history. Like, that's how we became friends with our roommate.
well, thank you, Janetta, for. I don't know if you agreed to this or we were just like, yeah, you're
Rachel
going to be on the
literally
podcast
was like,
today.
oh, we're recording a podcast tonight, and I was like,
You can be on!
okay. But no, it's definitely worth it. I know we had talked about doing it before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any handles or anything you want people to like? I don't know if you even want people to find you or
they
follow
can
you
if
on
they
anything.
want to.
But if you
Let's see. So
okay, you can
Plug
tell them
yourself.
what that would
Follow
be.
you for more sage advice on
And you play like
networking.
she knows instruments and music and stuff, and she's very
She knows instruments. She knows them all.
she's just a very cool person to follow
Yeah,
if you would
really.
like
I
to do
try
that.
to be. I like to be nice.
are
But
nice.
anywho, my Instagrammy handle, I just changed it, is Netta Sherrell _base, and it's NETTA SHERRELL _BASS base. But yeah, that's that. I usually don't follow or add people on Facebook that I haven't officially met in
Yep.
person. So like,
Don't do that.
just message me on Instagram. It's public. Follow me. I'll follow back. I do like to do stuff like that. So check me out. I have a lot of bass videos and random theater stuff on there.
So if you enjoyed this episode, it was a lot of story times, but I think our stories are so funny. I think we're hilarious.
I think that's what we
So-
do best is storytelling.
So send us an email. I don't know why you'd send us an email after I just went through all that.
can.
But spillingthemadtea@gmail.com.
Send us your emails with, actually, I would really love for you guys to send us your emails with your
Oh,
stories.
yeah.
And then maybe we can have an episode where we
Yes.
read out your
That would be
college
dope.
program stories. So send us your best CP
yeah.
stories.
The more outrageous, the better. But I'd like them to be
Yeah,
true.
don't
so
send us fake
just
shit. Send
stuff
us
you made
real
up.
shit.
Follow us on Instagram at spillingthemadtea.
You can tweet us at Spilling Mad Tea.
You can also like us on Facebook. We're Spilling the Mad Tea, and please join our Facebook group. We really enjoy that. We are Spilling the Mad Tea podcast on there. It's really fun, and also don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to Spilling the Mad Tea on your favorite podcast platforms that you're listening to us on right now.
Yeah, do it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Please.
I always
Thank
forget
you.
about that bit, so I'm glad you remembered it.
We would appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
bye.
Yeah. Bye.